See it again, aren't we, for sure? All right, here we go. UFC 261, the main event. Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman. Okay, I've been saying it for years now. Put some respect on the name of Kamaru Usman, the greatest welterweight to ever do it. This dude comes in here, blows Jorge Masvidal out of the water. I mean, and speaking of water, that KO, okay, Al, I got to take it back to 1993, Midway, Mortal Kombat. There's the mode where you can get rid of the blood, and instead of blood flying, it's sweat. That's what we saw in this KO. You could have filled up a drinking glass with the sweat Kamaru Usman knocked off the head of Jorge Masvidal in that shot. The most powerful KO punch we've seen in a long time. I almost tweeted before this fight, my man's coming out with Ngannou in the corner. What if we see Kamaru Usman go full Ngannou? He went full Ngannou. Oh my God. Jorge Masvidal leading up to this fight. Kamaru Usman has the softest pillow hands I've ever faced. And Kamaru Usman took that to heart, went out there, gave Jorge Masvidal the fight Masvidal needed to win this fight, and shows, listen, not only am I the better grappler, wrestler, I'm the better striker. Picture perfect straight right, decimating, blasts him, and you know what? Finishes up with some hammer fists on the ground, and I'll keep it real, man. Masvidal it's over. He's out here, right? But his eyes are still awake. That last hammer catches him clean on the chin and actually just puts him to sleep, anesthetized. It's over. It's a wrap. My man Kamaru Usman gets your boy Bleed and the Patreon back on track with the winningest bet in combat sports, the parlay of the week. It cashes. Kamaru Usman's the anchor. We're back on, baby. I do got to say this. The other leg of the parlay of the week, Dwight Grant, okay? I'm going to go ahead and take that W and call it very lucky. Al, I think me and you were the only guys that thought Dwight Grant won that fight, and I'm only going to touch on it briefly. I thought the guy won the first two rounds barely. Clearly lost the third, but I'm going to call it a lucky one. Most people disagree with us. Back to Kamaru Usman. He's that dude. He's the baddest man at 170. What is left for Kamaru Usman to do? I'll tell you. It's Colby Covington. Oh, baby, this fight is going to be sick, Al. I can't wait. Al, hit us with it. Did you have anything on this one?
This is one of those ones where I had the way I handicap it was I thought Usman was going to win a decision. I thought he was going to beat him up for 5 rounds, and I had the Usman Masvidal over 5.5 or over 5.5, over 4.5 with Shevchenko, and I ended up just hedging and betting the under. And then I can't remember. I feel like I had fight. Yeah, that's what it was. Fight goes the distance. No, in the Jimmy Crute fight with Usman, and then I hedged on Masvidal, which I regret. And but yeah, this is absolutely, like we just talked about, a beautiful MMA moment. This was just heartwarming. From a technical perspective, Usman's boxing has been getting better every single time. Yeah. Like that step-in double jab right off the hop was so smooth, and like he's coming in he's looking like I don't know who to compare it to. He's looking like Terrence Crawford. Like it's just unbelievable. His footwork, even if you compare him to the Covington fight, how much better his boxing has gotten. And I texted my buddy because he tailed me on just a straight up, a fat Usman money line bet. And I messaged him and I said, Jorge keeps getting caught with his hands down. And if he catches him with his hands down enough times, he's just going to wring his head and that's going to be it. And, Jorge has a really good poker face, and there's always that thing when you say, like, when somebody lands on you and you smile, you know it hurt them. And that's just what was happening to Jorge every single time, right? And I feel like for Jorge, he was most dangerous in that time where they were up against the cage, and that's when I was really nervous, that I thought when they got separated that there was going to be one of those crazy elbows or one of those like lunging one of those lunging attacks. But again, the Usman balance,
there we go,
his ability to play that defensive game. And Jorge went for that flying knee. He thought he caught him off balance, and he went for that flying knee, and Usman just covered up, and he literally just smirked and was just like, what? And that's when I knew, like, this is over. And Usman swung Masvidal's head around like a Chucky doll. Like that was Street Jesus got baptized, is what we just saw.
Absolutely baptized. I mean, listen, we're talking about a guy, Jorge Masvidal, who's fought 50 fights. Anybody want to know guess out there how many times this guy's been knocked out? Yeah, the answer was 0. You want how many times he ever been finished? Once, by an inverted triangle, okay? This dude ain't never been KO'd like that. Not even close.
Never. No.
Yeah, Kamaru Usman has ascended. We've still not seen this guy's final form, okay? To be a champion and to be growing at his age, at this stage in his career, and to be adding new wrinkles in his game, it's just unbelievable. But again, this guy has gone from Sanford MMA with Henry Hooft to Trevor Whitman, who I've got to say again, Trevor Whitman goes 2-0 on the night. Spectacular finishes. I mean, this guy works with 3 fighters, okay? Kamaru Usman, Rose Namajunas, and Justin Gaethje, and that's it. So you're talking about a man who spends 60 hours a week focused on 3 matchups. And Justin Gaethje really doesn't even have one right now, So it was Rose and Kamaru coming out here tonight. He needed, how do we beat Weili Zhang? How do we beat Jorge Masvidal? He laid it out. His fighters go out there and execute it to absolute perfection. I mean, listen, Usman spent the whole fight setting up that shot. He got a little erratic. He was swinging wildly, which, I think honestly probably had some people worried, right? Usman's coming out here. It wasn't that poised Usman we saw. It was very conservative and, kind of pumped the jab and went out there and cruised to a decision win in the first fight. This dude was out for blood, said it from day one, said it from the jump. I will go in here and finish this guy this time. That dude lives up to every bit of what he said. And there's only one man right now. There's only one man who's made it close with Kamaru Usman, and that's Colby Chaos Covington. Love him or hate him, we're getting that fight, and it's going to be one of the best fights of all time, and I'll guarantee that. Wonder Boy probably going to need to wait in the queue and potentially fight the winner. If it's not an incredible fight that goes whichever way, right? Because we might even have to have that one run back a third time, depending on how it plays out. Kamaru Usman, though, I've been singing the guy's praises for years now, trying to tell people this dude is the realest deal in the game next to my boy Habib, who's no longer in the game. Yeah, dude, I'm all aboard the Kamaru Usman train. I've been leading the way. I've been holding the banner. I've been leading the I'm the head man out in front of the army behind him, because at this point, listen, I understand if you don't like the guy's personality. I understand if you don't like his fighting style. At the same time, how could you not? The dude just knocked out Jorge Masvidal in spectacular fashion. At this point, I don't know how you can detract from Kamaru Usman. If he's not the greatest 170-pounder in the world, of all time, there's definitely no argument. He's sitting at number 2, and not much is left out there to accomplish to call him the best. Al, what do you think of this one before we take a look ahead here?
Yeah, man, it was just unbelievable. And I'm a Canadian, and I'm not even just a Canadian. I'm from Northern Ontario, which is, George St. Pierre country. And that knockout puts him in a whole other stratosphere, a whole other echelon. Go look through the extensive tape of George St. Pierre. You'll never find a knockout like that. You'll never find a knockout like that. And Kamaru Usman, man, with that punch, and especially the guy, you know, he called his shot, and everybody loves Jorge, and you know, the reputation that he just has basically as a street fighter from the days of like Kimbo Slice, you know, and all that. And like the guy's got reputation, and Kamaru knew that. And Kamaru isn't stupid. He knows the fight game. He picked his guy. He wanted to knock him out. And what, like, I didn't think that was going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, but this is one thing. As the fight was going on, I was like, yeah, he might knock him out, because Jorge was keeping his hands down. He just has that weird, I don't know what he was thinking. It's like he's almost too tough for his own good, where he thinks his chin is stiffer than it actually is.
Yeah, he did not respect the power of Usman whatsoever, and he paid dearly.
Yeah, and
but a guy who's never been knocked out, as far as Masvidal is concerned, maybe I can't be knocked out. You know, I've been hit by some crazy stuff from the baddest dudes in the game, and no one's ever put me out. I'll eat all these shots right on the chin and just keep coming forward, right? Usman is just something else. He's another animal. Again, it was another one of those situations, Al, where this was just this was pure strategery. This was a footwork battle. If Kamaru Usman could keep his lead left foot to the outside of Jorge Masvidal's and get past it, he was going to have Masvidal right in range, where he was going to hit him with that straight right down the pipe at absolute peak speed, peak power. He found his shot. End of story. My God, it's Al. What do you have to say before we take a look ahead here at UFC 262?
There was just one thing that I want to know. When was the last time that we saw a pay-per-view with every fight ending stoppage? Hasn't that been? That was like
2008.
And you know, I talked about it, and not to toot my own horn again, but I mean, I talked about it in our previous breakdown of this, where it was, I said that this is an intangible factor. The fans create volatility, right? And it's and we've seen it. Look at the first fight. You put that first fight in the Apex, it's probably a snooze fest. That I mean, the first fight on the card, the Carnelossi, right? And
Ariane Carnelossi versus Na Liang.
Na Liang, yeah, that was a banger. Put that fight in the Apex, that's a snooze fest, and it was because of the fan. It's because of the fans, and I feel like it just the whole night it had that level. There was just that volatility.
A lot of pent up energy, man. A lot of, and you know what? I think we saw, like I was talking about. You know, I think in the Crute fight, I think Crute fell into that. You know, he did not go out there and fight a smart game plan. I think we saw some guys going out there and trying to find the spectacular knockout, and most did. You know, like, and you're absolutely right, Al. You know, the energy, the fuel of the crowd, it was just on another level. Thank goodness we're back to fans here. Hey, listen, folks. That's it. It's a wrap. The pandemic's over. Go ahead, hit up your local politicians. Let them know the masks are off. Dana White said it's over. We can show up to UFC events. No masks, no vaccines. It's all good, baby. Let's get back to some fighting. It's over for your boy Bleed. I'm gonna put it like that. We're back to normal. UFC. I can go to a UFC fight. Good enough from me, man. We're done with the whole thing. All right, back to normal life, everybody. UFC 261. We got it going. All right. So Al, yeah, man. So just to recap the whole card, absolute phenomenal stuff. I mean, action-packed, legendary card. You know, phenomenal betting night for me. You know, I go 5 for 6 on bets. Patreon members, we all cashed big. Celebrate, woohoo, popping bottles, throwing money in the air. You know, all that good stuff.